After 14 episodes of Dragon Ball Daima, has anything really that significant happened? Episode 14 was a drag, so I'm going to talk about the hypothetical future of Dragon Ball Daima, and what is likely to happen is a new transformation, somewhat resembling a demonic Super Saiyan 4 transformation, and discussing whether or not the transformation raw power multiplier over Super Saiyan 3 could potentially be on par, if not surpassing that of Ultra Instinct. Now obviously Ultra Instinct's a very powerful transformation, but given that this will be a new transformation coming into the fold, and given that it could have some impact on the future of even Dragon Ball Super when the manga returns, then is it possible that for Super Saiyan 4 or demonic transformation to be relevant in the future of Dragon Ball Super, could the transformation itself be just as great of a raw power multiplier as that of Ultra Instinct? This seems to be a debate raging on right now, and I can't blame people for having these hypothetical debates simply because episode 14 was shit. Surely the next 5 to 6 episodes of Dragon Ball Daima are going to be peak Daima, because it feels like we're watching one pace at the moment, so all the good stuff's got to happen at the end, right? Well, there will be a big fight, there will be a power-up, and it's heavily rumoured and highly likely it's going to be a demonic version of Super Saiyan 4. Will it look exactly like GT's Super Saiyan 4? Not quite, but given that there's quite a few antagonists left in play in Dragon Ball Daima, given the power-ups and the power creep we're about to see, a new transformation or the fusion bug are the likely options. So guys, it is the 8th year anniversary of this channel today. I am on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I would like to achieve it before the end of 2025. If you're new to the channel and you love Dragon Ball content, verse battles, power scaling, lore discussions, we've been doing this for a long time on this channel, and it's great to have you involved. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and thank you for all the continued support of everybody that's subscribed and still tuning in 8 years in and smashing that like button. I really do appreciate all your continued support. Road to 100,000 subscribers in 2025. Let's go, baby! So, unfortunately, what's not really going at the moment is Dragon Ball Daima. 14 episodes in. Is this a good show? Let me know down in the comments section. I think there's some good moments. I think there's some good lore drops in this series so far. But what's really happened? Not a lot. We know that this series is only going to be 20 episodes long, which is worrying. If this was 30 episodes long, going at this pace, at the one pace type of levels of pacing, then I'd say okay, more can happen and it can justify this slow beginning. But 6 episodes left, it's definitely concerning, and likely leading into the final battle from episode 15 onwards, the pacing will pick up. But that's a quarter of the series. Now, I'm a glass half full type of guy. I do believe it can be turned around, but has Dragon Ball filled you with confidence in that regard lately from the Dragon Ball renaissance of Super, the movies, and Daima? Well, that's up to you. But ultimately, what Daima is doing, I do believe, and it's doing well. The animation's beautiful, of course, but for me, that doesn't make a full series. What it is also doing well is expanding the lore, progressing the lore, and giving us some facets of verse building that could play a role in the future of Dragon Ball. Now, one of the continuities that goes beyond this, of course, is Dragon Ball Super. We know the manga is returning next month for a one-shot, and it is likely returning back to the original schedule, hopefully a Black Frieza arc or whichever arc is post the superhero arc, which ended almost circa 1 year ago. And obviously Goku's most powerful transformation in that continuity is that of Ultra Instinct. The silver-haired Ultra Instinct is his most powerful form, even though in the last battle we really saw it in a serious battle, not a training match against Gohan. True Ultra Instinct kind of came out on top, but there was reasons behind that, and I have covered that in a video before of why True Ultra Instinct was able to perform better against Gas than complete Ultra Instinct at that time. But we have already seen in the Granola arc that Ultra Instinct isn't competition for Black Frieza. Now, I don't know if Black Frieza will be the main antagonist. I would guess not, simply because he's had his time. I do believe it will be a main part of the next arc, but I don't think he'll be the main antagonist. I think it will be someone else that's even stronger than Black Frieza. Goku is going to need something to compete with not only Black Frieza, but this something that is stronger than even Black Frieza. If he gets a new transformation in Daima, of course, there's got to be something that happens at the end of Daima, maybe a memory loss or a wish that wipes his memory of everything that occurred in the Demon Realm, for them to not remember all these things that happened in Daima going into Super, providing the continuities do link up. So given the placement of Daima and what it's introducing, and perhaps this new transformation, being that of Super Saiyan 4, will this transformation be useful for Goku in the next arc? Especially if he cannot get Ultra Instinct to work the way he wants it to against somebody like Black Frieza, maybe he'll need to go through a different path. We've seen lots of fan theories talking about how Goku can go through different transformation paths now, something I've been talking about a long time since the inception of Super Saiyan God. It is simply just a different path of Super Saiyan to that of, say, Super Saiyan 4 from Dragon Ball GT. One is the Uzaru path combined with Super Saiyan, and one is the God Ki path combined with Super Saiyan. Obviously GT and its canonicity to the Dragon Ball Super continuity isn't there currently. Maybe Daima might do something about that, even though I doubt it. But if Daima does introduce Super Saiyan 4 or an Uzaru-like transformation, and we've already had hints at it in Dragon Ball Super with Broly, for example, in his Ikari form, then if that form is to be somewhat of a match for a Black Frieza, or maybe, as I've stated on this channel before, he could use Super Saiyan 4 in tandem with something like Ultra Instinct. As he's shown, he can already use Ultra Instinct in his base form, as well as in Super Saiyan. It's not the transformation of Silverhead Ultra Instinct, which is a package transformation. It does come with a boost in raw power, but what if using it in conjunction with a demonic form, so angel and demonic at the same time, which I know there's going to be a contradiction, but if anyone's going to make it happen, it's Goku, and I've got a video on that coming soon. I'm just waiting for the right time, perhaps when we see the transformation. Like I said, guys, I'm mostly making this video because episode 14 bored the life out of me. I cannot believe I spent 20 minutes watching them basically go through a door. It's plausible, given how it's shaping up, that Goku and what happens in Daima will have a big part to play in the future of Dragon Ball Super, especially as it's been written and penned by Toriyama. If Toyotoru continues the Dragon Ball Super story, he's going to want to keep as much Toriyama in it as possible, whilst obviously also having his own creative direction. But Daima is introducing a lot, and it seems very purposeful and intended, so that it opens up so many options for Dragon Ball Super in the future. Like I said, one being the introduction of Rymus, what most people are calling the God of Creation, or the Ultra God of Creation now, and creating the universes. That's changed quite a lot. He could be at the same level of the Omni King for all we know, as well as the fact that the demon realm itself seems to be enormous and adds to the verse and the multiverse itself. That's what Daima has done well, despite its absolutely atrocious pacing so far, is it's introducing lots of lore elements that could actually make the future of Dragon Ball quite exciting. Toriyama has given the keys to the castle to the creators of future Dragon Ball post his passing, of course. And then, of course, the Megaths and the Gigaths, which I talked about in the last video. For me, whilst episode 13 didn't really progress the story that much, that introduction alone changes things enormously. Make sure you check out that video, because power-wise, wow, they could be really up there and could be utilized in the future in a very effective way. Imagine if one of them gets used to create a future villain. I think because Super introduced Beerus, Whis and the Omni Kings quite early in the series, it's not really felt like there's been that external threat that could be introduced at any time and actually put Goku and the gang under threat. Especially Daima, up until episode 13, they were basically just bullying everyone in the demon realm. They weren't even competing. Obviously, there's going to be a final antagonist and events that occur from that will create a believable antagonist, at least we hope. But in Super, there is at least Black Frieza, because we know like Beerus won't get involved in that. But if Goku is to utilize a demonic Super Saiyan 4 form, will it actually compete with that of Ultra Instinct in terms of raw multiplier? Will it have the martial arts combat abilities of Ultra Instinct? No. Will it have some of the hacks that maybe Ultra Ego has? No, because they seem to be godly or angelic techniques. And going back to that path idea, there does seem to be an angel path coming off of the God path. Obviously there's no official name for these paths, we're just making them up and theorizing over them, but they do seem to be panning out that way. Now we've seen Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in Daima. Goku obviously can still use Super Saiyan 3, but when they eventually fail with Super Saiyan 3, which let's face it is going to happen, otherwise this series is only going to go from bad to worse, they are going to achieve a new transformation. They have their fuse bugs. Is this transformation going to be as powerful as a fusion? Is this fusion in the demon realm as powerful as Potara fusion or Metamaran fusion? That's important, because in the Dragon Ball Super timeline, especially the manga, fusion seems to be much more powerful than the Ultra forms in terms of raw power multiplier. In fact, vastly so, despite some of the raging debates that happened during the Jiren vs Broly wars. Now, obviously with Super there's two continuities, there's the anime and then there's the manga. Of course you can include the movies in that as well, but the manga, the growth, the power creep in the manga is a lot slower than it seemingly is in the anime. Toei kind of just go off on one with their writing, and they don't seem to care about power scaling too much. The power scaling in the manga is definitely more grounded, and it does seem that Toriyama has had much more of a hand in correcting any mistakes or misconceptions in the writing for the manga than he did in the anime. Now, that doesn't mean the anime doesn't have some great moments. Of course, it's a very inconsistent show, but this is another question for you guys and a bit unrelated. Based on the 14 episodes of Daima so far, has it been as good as Dragon Ball Super after 14 episodes? Of course, it was the Beerus Battle of Gods retelling, but it still was entertaining in its own right despite the animation quality. But if you gave the Battle of Gods arc this animation quality, would it be better than Daima? Interesting question, let me know. Maybe you can even add GT, the first 14 episodes of GT. I think I can answer that one for you. However, after episode 14, the baby arc comes along. Is it as good as the baby arc? Well, it's not looking good for Daima at the moment, but it can still turn around. Like I said, I'm a half glass full type of guy. A great final battle could retroactively invigorate the series. At least that's what I'm hoping happens. But if Super Saiyan 4 is to come from this and they get their memories back in the future in Dragon Ball Super, is it going to be as strong as Ultra Instinct? The God forms, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, don't seem to be the massive raw power multipliers over Super Saiyan 3 that we initially thought they was. Now in GT there is Golden Uzaru in between Super Saiyan 4, and we talked about this on the channel before, between GT and Super, the God forms versus the monkey forms. And based on what the franchise seems to be implying, they do actually seem to be parallel transformations to each other. Even the likes of Heroes, and I'm not saying Heroes is a strong supporting evidence, but ultimately the series seems to be aligning Super Saiyan 4 alongside Super Saiyan Blue. That isn't quite Ultra Instinct, of course, especially in the anime where Ultra Instinct is leaps and bounds beyond Super Saiyan Blue. In the manga, that doesn't seem quite the case, based on performances that we saw in the Granola arc and the Moro arc. So if a demonic Super Saiyan 4 was to surpass Super Saiyan Blue, it really wouldn't be that far away from Ultra Instinct in terms of raw multiplier of power over that of, say, Super Saiyan 3. I'll make this clear. Obviously, Super Goku is chronologically a lot further after that of Daima Goku, circa 10 years or so. That's a lot of training, a lot of base amps that Goku would have got. Even if a Daima demonic Super Saiyan 4 Goku fought against Dragon Ball Super Ultra Instinct Goku from the end of the superhero arc, it's unlikely that Daima Goku would have any kind of chance. That's not what I'm saying here, guys. I'm saying all the transformations in isolation, in a vacuum, as powerful as each other. Let's say Goku in the last 5 or 6 episodes got Super Saiyan 4, but then he also got Ultra Instinct with his current base power level in Daima. Which one would lead to him being stronger? That's the question that I think we're all discussing at the moment, because if he is to use or refine this demonic Super Saiyan 4 transformation in the next arc after Superhero, it's going to be useless if it's not even as strong as Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct. It's going to have some sort of relevance. Maybe we'll find an advancement on top of this transformation and maybe find some limit breaking version of it, but ultimately it's got to be relevant in terms of power, otherwise there's no point bringing it back. As I said in the GT vs Super video, Super Saiyan God over Super Saiyan 3, what do you guys think is the multiplier for that? Based on the Dragon Ball Super manga, it probably isn't that much, and destructive capacity doesn't grow linearly with raw power increases. Destructive capacity grows exponentially faster than raw power measurement increases. For example, the 4 times Super Saiyan 2 that Super Saiyan 3 is, even though he's increased his bank of raw power by 4 times, his destructive capacity likely has increased vastly faster than that. Much higher, in fact. This is plentifully supported throughout the series. So, back to the initial question of what will be more powerful out of this demonic Super Saiyan 4 transformation in Ultra Instinct. Well, I personally wouldn't be that surprised if they're somewhat relevant to each other. I think now, though, the way that Dragon Ball's going, even this demonic Super Saiyan 4 transformation, that's the code name for now, demonic Super Saiyan 4, until we get an official name, I believe that it will probably come with some sort of ability or hacks that come with it. Just like Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, it won't just be a sheer raw power up, say like Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue. But given that Broly's Akari form, which is basically like a humanoid Uzaru form, which isn't even a full, say, Super Saiyan 4 demonic transformation, perhaps this transformation could go beyond the Akari multiplier, which saw Broly go from Super Saiyan levels to God levels. Imagine going from Super Saiyan 3 levels. Where would it lead to? Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct? I don't think it's completely out of the equation. Or do you think it would need a enhancement beyond this form that we see in Daima to make it relevant to Ultra Instinct, which I believe could be quite plausible as well. Anyway guys, so for my conclusion, and of course I want to know your answers, is if it is to be based on GT's Golden Uzaru and Super Saiyan 4 multipliers over Super Saiyan 3, then it will probably be similar to Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue levels of power, but not quite reaching Ultra Instinct. However, if they're going to base it off Broly's Ikari form multiplier and then even enhance it for actually being a proper transformation, then I think things will get interesting and the Ultra Instinct multiplier will be under threat. Hopefully this cheers you up after episode 14 of Dragon Ball Daima. Something interesting to talk about, hypothetical sure, but it's coming. Anyway, drop your thoughts down in the comment section. I look forward to reading them. 8 years. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribed. Smash a like on the video. Lend me your energy. Until next time, Ad Astra.